Community-to-community learning can be defined as a platform which allows interaction between a community with another for the purpose of sharing knowledge, experience, and skills they have acquired in the process of initiatives they have implemented. The sole objective is to help each other identify bottlenecks in their individual programs and offer solutions they have implemented in their own program. Community-to-community learning can be aptly seen as a social change in the community, helping create a forum for community leaders, CBOs, and even agencies to advance community development. Using technology for facilitating sharing of knowledge and experience and for the capacity building of peer educators in Africa and Asia will prove to be a crucial stepping stone to improve program implementation in a situation of limited resources and involving most at-risk population.
The University of Manitoba and KHPT have a global team with members from China, Canada, Kenya, Nigeria, Pakistan and India who have had extensive experience over the years in MAPS programming across Asian and African countries. The India Learning Network or the Bridge project is a project that looks at bringing in countries from Asia and Africa to share and learn from India's HIV/AIDS implementation programs. Delegates from these countries, when visiting the Indian programs, have been in awe of how empowered, keeping this in mind and the shrinking funding for the HIV/AIDS programs, the ILN or the Bridge project is trying to set up a virtual platform or system of learning using technology for MAPS communities in India to engage and learn and to share their experiences with MAPS communities across Asia and Africa.
Community-to-community learning through video conferencing was piloted between India and Kenya on violence prevention and response.
The India Learning Network Bridge project has recently had a pilot run of this community learning initiative with the learning sites that are being managed by the University of Manitoba in partnership with local NGOs in Kenya. To take the pilot further, we've recently had a session with MAPS community members from India interacting with their counterparts in Kenya.
Good morning everybody, and my name is Purnima. I'm working in KHPT as Learning Site Manager, and I mostly work with the community group.
Namaskar. My name is Parinita. I work with the Learning Site.
Use of physical force to harm or damage, like injuring, abusing physically, sexually, mentally, harming a person. Harassments. As per me, in my personal life, started from my family when my sexual identity was opened up. Mental harassment. And from police, from clients, lots and lots of ways that I could be violated. They arrest us and they do false charges on us. From clients, when they are not sexually satisfied, they beat us or snatch everything like money or whatever valuables we have. They snatch from it. From husbands, lovers or partners. Until we are young, earning, they'll support us. If with some health conditions we are not earning, they'll definitely abuse us, may beat us physically, mentally, torturing us. From gundas, what they do is, as the same, they snatch all the valuables and money from us and they forcibly do unsafe sex until they are satisfied. After all this, we come out of our family or our background. We take a house. Then problem starts again.
Violence and the perpetrators. Stay in Kenya, we face a lot of violence, like the types of violence that we face in Kenya are sexual violence, those are rape from our clans, gang rape, sodomy and defilement. These ones we face from maybe clients, even our relatives at times. And the next one is physical violence, where we have at times our parents also beat us, our lovers, even the general public, families. The next one is verbal violence. Even among ourselves being sex workers, we also have the verbal violence, abuses to each other. Illegal arrest, where we are always arrested by the policemen in Kenya and city council askaris and accused of different things like maybe loitering with intention of prostitution. Also, we can be idling, drunk and disorderly. The next one is harassment. We always harassed by the policemen in Kenya, the city council askari. Yeah, discrimination. We always get discrimination from the general public, the community itself, our families also. Yeah. Okay, the perpetrators mostly who do this are the policemen in Kenya, the city council askari, our clients, our lovers, general public, families, and sex workers themselves.
To address this violence and to resolve this violences, we have some to respond this violence. We have some system and reporting mechanism. The reporting and system for the handling the crisis are: firstly, we have a team of committed members that is called Crisis Management Committee, which we train them how to address the crisis, how to resolve the crisis, and how to identify the crisis. And with that also again we have our helpline numbers, 24/7. The helpline numbers are basically to get the calls from the victims who have been violated in the field level or wherever it is. It will be addressed within 15 minutes from our Crisis Management Committee. The crisis numbers and numbers and the helpline numbers have been distributed in the community members on which community can contact us. Thirdly, we have 5W system to address the basic information of the violences: when, where, what, why and whom. This when, where, why and what, whom are basically to study basic information of the case study and to identify and address the issue and to take step forward the crisis. Fourthly, we have community legal literacy sessions. We have in police laws, we have some laws which has been legal laws which are being given training for our community members on the basic rights what we have. Third, assistant of committed lawyers. There are different type of crises. There are different type of crises should be solved and different type of crises we face. To address and to resolve this, we have a committed lawyers in our Crisis Management Committee. Network alliance building and sensitization work with local stakeholders. This is very important to us because being a community, some crisis we can handle and some crisis should be taken support from the outside of the society, from the community. So we have a system to build a network alliancing with other CBOs, NGOs and supporters of the community and local stakeholders. Close alliance with the civil society, organization and activists. This one is a very important for us. As I told you earlier, there are different type of crises which we handle. Some can be handled by, resolved by individually. Some can be get to by others. Some is from the lawyers, and sometimes we go for in a major crisis we go for the protest and rally. For this, the alliances and the civil societies and activists are very important. Advocacy with key policy makers and local medias. Local medias and key policy makers are playing an important role in the society, because the media person highlights the issue of the community, getting the news channels and publicly advertise them in the TV channels. So we advocate them, and even for the policy makers, we do sensitize them about our community issues, what are the community facing the violences.
Okay, prevention and response to the violence. The system that we use here in Kenya, we have community empowerment through rights education. We are doing the paralegals here, we educate the community about health rights, meaning our own rights as human beings also. I will also advocate to the advocacy is very honest, where we advocate to the bar owners, the bar managers, security men, bouncers, and waiters, and the rest of the sex workers who are in that hotspot. We also have a hotline for 24 hours. On sex support for crisis migration. That's a hotline where we can discuss a sex worker can be arrested. He can call or she can call the hotline at any time, either during the night or during the day, but it's always open. And if you can send a message also, we always respond to your messages. Okay. Linkage services. Linkage with services. We also give them services, like maybe if someone has been hurt, raped, we always have where we can send them for help. Like so, we have GRB centers, those are database violence centers like Kenyatta, Blue House, Bagabi. Promoting safety and security. We also promote safety for our sex workers here in Nairobi, both male and female, educating them and also encouraging them to be in safety places.
About challenges. Everywhere, whenever we do the work, we feel many challenges while facing the crisis. The first one is difficult to understand the circumstance of the crisis. Sometimes when we go in the field, we can't even know what is the crisis happen over there, how is the crisis happen, because of some missing data. We get a call on the crisis helpline number, halfly information has given, partly it is not given. So we will be having very difficulties to understand the fact of the crisis, what has happened.
Okay, challenges experienced by paralegals. Okay, the paralegals complain the lack of identification plan. Okay, because when they go to the field, they are being harassed by the police officers for them to identify themselves, and they don't have the identification badges. Okay, sex worker bribing the police and the city council are carrying rather than challenging wrongful arrest. That's a very big challenge here in Nairobi. They prefer paying maybe 100 shillings or 1,000 shillings. That's why the city council and police are always on the streets arresting them. And sex workers not attending court sessions. We have a problem when if a sex worker agrees to go to court, we have to provide baby fare, because every time they'll tell you, me, I'm broke, I can't come to court. So all that is also a challenge to us, because they're attending the court session. And if a sex worker doesn't attend At court session, she may be given a warrant of arrest, where one can be arrested and taken to maybe Langata Law Court, Langata Prison, where one will be there for a very long time, and since maybe we can't afford to give out another cash bail, one to be released. So it's also a very big challenge to us. And also the sex workers always wanting someone to be with them. Like me, I'm always because they prefer me being there. They don't want to go alone. They want the support. Yeah. I love the challenge in the assessing the TIC.
Yes, you can maybe explain a little bit about if there is something special about violence in the MSM community.
Yeah, the special thing what we are doing in MSM thing is that as a offense, FSW's identities are not visible. They can, if they themselves say about they are FSW, then only they get harassment and violences. But in MSM, it doesn't happen like that. It is a visible. We go through advocacy programs like sensitizing our community member to participate in various protests and in various rallies. So there we get our visibility over there. From there we get the linkages and network from the other civil society organization. So whenever we have a major crisis or something, violences, then they come and support us.
When a community member is arrested by the police, then what are the steps you are going to do to bring the community person out?
What we do, we go to our hotspots where more the other sex workers on how the process that they're supposed to undergo when they are arrested by city councils. One, we tell them that they're supposed to ask questions: why are you arresting me? Who are you? Can you show me your identification to clarify that you are police or a city council? Then you are supposed to remain silent, and the police is supposed to tell you the consequence if you don't remain silent. Don't bribe them. Let them take you to the police station.
Now there is something you say about the anonymous call and threatening calls you get on the helpline. Who are these people who threaten you on your hotline number? Are these hotline numbers on your hotspots? You are sex workers? Because here in Nairobi, every hotspot we have a hotline number. In case there is a problem, we call. Who are these people who are threatening you and who are these anonymous callers, please?
See, we used to distribute these cards within our community is the main thing. And when we go for sensitization programs to the policemen or to other firms or to educational institutes or to hospitals like healthcare providers, we distribute our cards all over for sensitization programs. In that, what happens is, sometimes when we talk about our rights or when we have some fight or anything with policemen or what, they might have some anger inside towards us. So without saying the name, they just give the card to another person, or the policeman itself, some case has happened with me itself, calls and threatens that never you should come to support this community to my police station, and you shouldn't talk rude to me like this. Like this threatening calls will come from police, from gundas or the opposite party.
Whether if a violence is happened for a MSW, MSM and transgender support for that violence or not, whether the system is if anyone have crisis all together support or it was divided on identity based or what.
Thank you for the question. I think I'll start with Simon, the HIMAS, about HIMAS.
So something to do with HIMAS. HIMAS is an organization dealing with male sex workers. That's why paralegals approach from HIMAS. The second question, it is also a CBO. And it's a learning set again. The second question you asked about the MSM data about general population, general public, police, askaris, and MSW. In MSM, we don't have any other cases apart from general public, policemen, and MSWs as ourselves. The third question comes as about paralegal that deals with only male sex workers to deal with male sex workers, female sex workers to deal with female sex workers. We don't do like that. As paralegals, we do a uniform job. If it's a case for female sex workers, any paralegal can attend any issues. We work as a community.
India Learning Network proposes to initiate community-to-community learning systems using technology in Africa and Asia to create a virtual platform across continents to facilitate learning from the India HIV prevention programs with most at-risk populations.